I never thought that I would say this, but y'all actually made me cry from this app. I never want to get up here with tears in my eyes, but the trend, I used to be too afraid to say this as a black person, but then a lady said that she's scared around hood people. I ended up going down a rabbit hole and watching a few of the videos and explanations of people who agreed with her statement. And I just came on here to let you know, you need to check your biases at the door. Because what's happened is that you feel like this about hood people, and then you get into the workforce and you have to work with someone who's a hood ass bitch, just like me.
Oh, so fabulous.
Hi guys, welcome back to the channel once again. It's your girl Dumebi. If this is your first time coming across my channel, you're welcome to my channel. I do hope you decide to subscribe and join the big happy family. And if you are a returning subscriber, you guys know that I love you. It's so good to have you here. Welcome back. So my usual disclaimer, please, this video is strictly for educational purposes. Do not go searching for anybody that I talk about in this video. Don't send them any form of hate comment, threats, or violence. This channel does not support any of that. So there's this huge topic going around on Black TikTok. You know, a lot of people have been chiming in, like it's really huge. I don't think there's been any topic that has blown up as much as this on TikTok, in my own opinion, in recent times.
This I'm a black person and I'm scared to admit trend is probably one of the greatest trends that's ever happened on TikTok. Because we finally have black people calling out exactly what's wrong with the black community. Everybody
has been chipping in. So to explain how it started, there's this trend that is currently going on Black TikTok where black people are saying things that they are scared to admit as black people. So black people are like, oh, something I'm scared to admit as a black person, I've never watched the movie Friday. Or something I'm scared to admit as a black person, I don't like rap music. You know, something that basically would shock other black people. You just, put it out there and it's a trend. So now there was a black woman that made her video, and this was the video she made. So when she made that video, it kind of went viral. People were making videos responding to her, criticizing her for talking about being anxious around hood people or ghetto people. And I'm guessing she's not the only person that said this because of how fast spread the outrage was. I believe she couldn't have been the only one that said it. I am believing that there are other people that said it as well, because the response was a lot for it to have just been one person. But nevertheless, it sparked a huge discussion on Black TikTok. So now, even though she got a lot of backlash for saying this, in the comment section, there were so many comments from people who agreed with her, just like as you guys can see on the screen. And then another lady made a video kind of responding to what that woman said.
If you are black and you are afraid of ghetto people, you are whitewashed.
So now you guys, she had already taken out the original video, so that was just the little part that I could get from people that stitched her video before she took it down. So basically the summary of her take is that she feels that any black person who says they are scared or uncomfortable of ghetto or hood people are whitewashed. And then when she made that video, it sparked a lot of conversation again, and people decided to weigh in. You guys, the black community on TikTok is divided on this, like seriously divided. Some people feel like, yes, she was right by saying these people are whitewashed, while other people feel like, no, I'm actually afraid of ghetto or hood people as well. And I'm not whitewashed, I'm still down with the culture. I'm still proudly black. So, so many videos have been made, and I'm just going to go right ahead and play people's stitches and commentary.
You are black and you are afraid of ghetto people, you are whitewashed. They got you.
That had to be the single dumbest shit I've ever heard in my life. Why do motherfuckers insist on using the word whitewashed incorrect? Hood culture does not make up all of black culture. So being afraid of a hood person doesn't all of a sudden make you white. Doesn't take away your black card. So not only did you say that ignorant ass shit, recorded it, reviewed it, looked at it, and then still posted. But I'm gonna keep it respectful. In all this video, and any other video like it, and anyone in the comments talking about it shows me is that you niggas lack the ability to have necessary conversation. And while I don't like the trend, I don't see any real problem with it. At least not enough for me to get mad about it and make some fucking video, because y'all yourselves are showing your own internalized hatred of your own people. Why did you internally read hood people and associate that with all black people? And then in the same breath say, oh, if you don't fuck with them, you don't fuck with any of us, so you're white. There's a reason that hood culture and black culture are two separate things. And it's so disingenuous to disregard the experiences of other people simply because these two groups of individuals are the same skin color. Like, maybe did it ever occur to you that they're afraid of hood people because of their own experiences in life? Or maybe some people are just non-confrontational and don't like certain areas or certain ways that people act in public. Because me and most of my friends, we can code switch. That's easy. We know time and place for everything. But in most cases, hood people don't, and they act that way everywhere. So again, like I said, this trend is not about black culture. It's about hood culture. And if you associate yourself with hood culture, say that then. Don't call other people whitewash because they don't fuck with that shit.
Oh, it's time to admit, that a lot of y'all see your own people through the eyes of them folks. That's the reason why you got all these surface level critiques about hood ghetto people. You see what I'm saying? Whenever you want to put on a little black costume, though, and show your white friends how hood and how smooth and cool you is, you will literally take on black hood aesthetics and take them on a costume. You see what I'm saying? See, a couple of years ago, you was always already policing different types of blackness that you didn't find palatable. But now in this new age of social media, a lot of folks is putting it on thick, and you want to act like you from the hood or act like you ghetto, but you scared of us? A lot of the dance trends, a lot of the slang, a lot of the fashion trends come from the hood. Y'all ain't got no issue with taking them on as the entirety of black culture. But as soon as somebody do something you don't like, oh, that's ghetto. And what things that really don't sit right with me is that I know that them folks can see anybody as being ghetto or anybody as being hood, whether you have proximity to the community or not. And that's the thing that is so kind of weird about all this discourse about hood black people. You see what I'm saying?
Okay, this is my last video about this subject, but when it comes to the debate that we're having against the black people that's afraid of the hood ghetto people, and this is just my opinion, but this is why I feel like language is so important. Y'all keep trying to say, well, you know who we meant. We meant the criminals. We meant the bad ones. We meant the ones that be out here robbing and fighting and stealing and all that shit. Y'all keep trying to say, y'all know who we meant. So what you're essentially saying is that nobody should have assumed that you were talking about black people. And the only reason you said ghetto and hood people is because it was obvious that you meant criminals. But we all know that the majority of people that stay in the ghetto and the hood is black people. And I'm not saying that's what you meant, because I'm all for having the conversation of getting the hood and the ghetto back on track and doing what we need to do and holding us accountable. But I will be able to make a snowball in hell before I let my comment section a safe place for these people to justify being scared of us. And that is all this conversation is doing. Because as black people, we know when you say ghetto and hood that you're not talking about everybody. We know that you only talking about the fuck ups, the criminals. But when they hear you say ghetto and hood, their mind only makes the connection to the majority of people that live in that proximity, which is us. So now that we have a slew of black people that's on the internet admitting to not liking a certain black person that lives in the ghetto or hood, now these people have proof and justification for being scared and doing whatever comes with that. And the difference is, when we are scared of people that look like us, it's just an instinctual feeling that might not even get a reaction. When they are scared of us, we die. Or am I reaching? George Zimmerman, what happened? I don't know. I just seen a kid that looked like he was from the hood or the ghetto, so I was scared for my life. No, I followed them around that nice neighborhood. They look like they from the hood or the ghetto. They gotta be up to something. Henry in North Carolina, you got rid of that boy for walking on your porch. Why would you do that? Oh, it's okay. It's justified because he looked like he was from the hood, from the ghetto. He looked like one of them, you know, so I was scared. But he had on a suit and tie. Officer, why did you gun him down? What happened? Come on, you know why. I was riding through the hood, the ghetto. I seen kids that looked like they was from the hood, the ghetto, and I got scared. You get it, right? I mean, a lot of your peers do. As I'm going online, y'all empathize, y'all. Come on, we're all scared of the hood and ghetto. You know what happens there. My point is this: us being scared of us is one thing, and we can find a way to have the conversation to rectify it. I don't know how, on some kind of platform to where it's just us. But when old racist man Henry and Officer John hear ghetto, hear criminal, and hear black, that's all the same thing to them. They can't tell the difference. And this conversation doesn't give them a reason to.
If you are black and you are afraid of ghetto people, you are whitewashed.
That must be the dumbest take in this whole conversation. I thought as a collective group, we agreed that black people are not a monolith, and that you can exist as a black person and not associate yourself with hood culture, or need to be familiar or comfortable with ghetto. So to sit there and tell people that if you do not like hood activities, then you must be anti-black, then you're saying that hood activities and being ghetto is a black attribute or characteristic. And this type of mindset is exactly why black people in the diaspora have such a division amongst each other, and why there are so much conversations of people wanting to disassociate themselves. Because apparently, if you do not associate, you do not like, and you're not comfortable with hood activities, hood culture, or whatever it is, you are anti-black and not black enough. You must accept it, you must tolerate it, and hood activities is black people stuff, apparently. The second we stop associating all black people and blackness with hood culture, the better we will be as a whole.
And I will say this to the girl who said, I'm black and I'm scared of ghetto people. Valid. Because girl, same. Because one, blackness does not equate to ghetto. And ghetto does not equate to blackness. And three, I'm scared of rednecks. Don't catch me out in the boonies. I'm gonna call the police if I see any sign of overalls, hay straws, and plaid shirts. Goodbye.
This whole I'm black but I don't like ghetto people thing is that a problem? Or we can't be scared? We can't be scared because we black? I don't get it. Like, hear me out. Growing up, I grew up around rednecks, like hardcore rednecks. The way Dave Chappelle be talking about white people, that's who I grew up around. But then all my neighbors, I live next to Howard Street in the Berg. If you know, you know. They all ghetto black people. And low key, it's kind of the same thing. Somehow they all accepted me because I'm African. I guess they just thought I was middle ground. But like, if my redneck friends ever met with my ghetto black friends, World War III, Armageddon, King Kong versus Godzilla. Like, it is over. It's wraps. And you want me to feel bad for being scared? Ain't no way, bro. All the white people I know got 15 billion guns in their basement, and all the black people I know got like 15 billion guns in their pants. Like, well, I'm scared either way.
If you are black and you are afraid of ghetto people, you are whitewashed.
That must be the dumbest take in this whole conversation. I thought as a collective group, we agreed that black people are not a monolith.
Echo's right about what she said, and here's why you are wrong. In the United States, the word ghetto is strongly associated with being black due to the historical context of black people being enslaved individuals and being pushed into poverty due to systemic racism. The reason why it's anti-black to say that you don't like ghetto people, it's different if you say you don't like the ghettos. That's different. If you say you don't like ghetto people, that is just profiling. When you're saying I don't like ghetto people because of XYZ reasons, this and that, what they're wearing, what they say, how they sound, that is anti-black. Only speaking in American context, but in America, if you are a black person, the further you push yourself away from black culture, the more acceptable, palatable, and respectable you are. This is respectability politics. We know this is a fact. So when you're saying things like, I don't like ghetto people because they participate in aspects of black culture that I have been taught to demonize or think as criminal activities or think of as poor or think of as really classless, then these things, you know, that's just rooted in anti-blackness. This isn't actually a foundational or new point that you're making. It doesn't matter how white your boyfriend is. It doesn't matter who your daddy is. It doesn't matter how much money you bring in. It doesn't matter how, what neighborhood you grew up in. If you're a black person and you participate in black culture, you are considered ghetto.
You are black and you are afraid of ghetto people, you are whitewashed. They got you.
I can't agree with that. I can't agree with that because it's like ghetto people are scared of ghetto people. There are actual circumstances to be afraid of that happen regularly when you're around ghetto people, bro. It's the speed at which shit can go from 0 to 100 that really has motherfuckers steering clear, bro. Have you ever been at a party and everything was going just fine, just dandy, and then you hear, I don't give a fuck about none of that shit. Fuck all that. Fuck all that. That's scary, bro. Especially when you're not ready for it. It's not an active fear. It's not an active fear, bro. People just steer clear.
I saw that trend on TikTok, black people saying they was afraid to admit they're scared of hood people. And I think that conversation is dumb as hell. I think you need to be real specific on who you calling hood and what hood actually is. And what you're really talking about is you're talking about niggas that be crashing out. I also think if people got something to say, some of the times y'all need to keep that shit to yourselves. This is just like the conversation with black men or black women be like, well, we ain't dating black men or we ain't dating black women. Nigga, keep it to yourself. Don't nobody care. And you ain't gonna never get me to say that how we act is ghetto just because we outside, we being loud, we got loud music, we outside dancing, or we doing car takeovers, or how niggas dress, or niggas got their hood day and they outside barbecue and they celebrating, or how the girls dress with the big gold earrings and the gold teeth and all the gold necklaces, nigga. That's culture, nigga. And I never turn my back on that type of shit. And everybody from the hood ain't a criminal or dangerous. I know people from the hood that go to UCLA, USC, and LA Film School. And what makes me mad about this conversation is because y'all just perpetuating what the white people say is that how we dress or how we may act, we already perceived as dangerous. And that's how a lot of us get unlocked by the police. All I ask, if y'all gonna have this conversation, be very specific on what you're talking about that scares you, because how you wording it right now, you're gonna make a lot of people upset.
Stop saying hood people, okay? That's the wrong way to say it. And don't get me wrong, I know what you mean, and I agree 100%. I can't stand them. But hood people is not the right term to use. Somebody could be from the hood and not be a criminal or not be dangerous, you know what I'm saying? What y'all are trying to say is hoodlums. A hoodlum, a violent criminal, a gangbanger, a troublemaker, someone who invokes chaos everywhere they go, creates an uncomfortable environment for everybody around them. That's a hoodlum. And y'all have to stop trying to make this a black thing. Like the way y'all are trying to call people anti-black, but the whole time you're the one associating hood and ghetto with black people. Like, make it make sense. I don't give a fuck if you're black, white, Asian, Hispanic, blue, red, green, baby. A hoodlum is a hoodlum. And I'm going to lock my doors and clutch my purse every time. And I might even send an anonymous tip to the law if I'm feeling real Karen-y that day. Like, y'all be in these streets wreaking havoc. And got the nerve to be confused on why people look at you crazy and why people are afraid of you. Like me personally, I'm not even afraid of y'all. I just don't want to be nowhere near y'all because y'all do too fucking much. Everywhere y'all go, you gotta cause a scene. Everywhere y'all go, chaos follows shortly after. And I'm never in a mood for it. I'm just not. If I'm in the burbs, I want a burb environment. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, and I'm all for being authentically you. Be you in your own space. I don't want to be in Target hearing no ghetto ass Sexy Red blasting on your JBL speaker. Target already has music. And again, it's not a black thing. Like, it's really not. I hate to sound like one of them, but y'all want to be a victim so fucking bad. It's not a black thing. Some of the most non-decorum motherfuckers I've ever seen in my life were not black.
If you're a black person and you say you're scared of black people from the ghetto, you are a privileged little bitch. Because
Brian, I'm a true fan, and I love the content that you put out. And I agree with most of the takes that you have. But on this one, I cannot agree with you on. I think y'all are misunderstanding the message that we're trying to convey to y'all. We know that all black people living in the ghetto are not ghetto. We know there are hardworking black people from the ghetto that get up every day, they sacrifice, they take care of their family, they're doing it the right way. We're speaking on those that live in the ghetto that are causing crime. We're talking about those black people that live in the ghetto that rob the hardworking black people. The ones that sitting there promoting gang life. The ones that make your children not feel safe when they walk down the street because it's a group of them on the corner with shiesty masks on. So if y'all feel like we cooning and we anti-black for calling that out, then I guess we are.
So first of all, you guys know that I'm Nigerian and I'm speaking as a member of the diaspora. And from the outside looking in, I think both sides are kind of making sense with their talking points. This is another discussion that basically highlights the intersection between hood culture and black culture. There are some black people that believe hood culture represents some major aspects of black culture, and there are also black people that believe hood culture is not black culture, because there's some elements of hood culture that don't necessarily present black people in a good way. And they also believe hood culture has nothing to do with black culture, because it is not every black person that grew up in the hood or is even familiar with hood culture. And the people also feel like hood culture is dangerous to black people because of the negative stereotypes that come as a result of hood culture. And this kind of reminds me of when I made this other video where we had similar conversation about suburban kids claiming or trying to be hood when they are not, because they are trying to relate to the black culture and get the street credibility and stuff like that. So there's definitely been a discussion about how hood culture intersects with black culture. Now, I say both sides have a point, because on one end, not everybody who lives in the hood is dangerous. So not everybody who lives in the hood is involved in crime or uneducated or rude, all those negative stereotypes that come with people that live in the hood. So generally saying that you're scared of hood people puts those other people who are just living their lives in the hood, trying to make an honest living, you're putting them in the same bracket as the very people who you are probably talking about that scare you, you know, those that are propagating the negative stereotypes about black people, the gang banging and stuff like that. Then again, I think another point they have is that when you say you're scared of hood people, we know that it is majority black people that live in the hood. So you're also saying that you're scared of your own people. So is it that you're being classist? Do you feel like you're in a better position than them so you can look down on them? And mind you, the lady that made this original video where she talked about being anxious around hood people actually said in one of her comments that she lives in the hood, or she grew up in the hood as well. So it's a given that even hood people are scared of hood people because of the kind of things that go down in the hood. And I think this is also where we need to differentiate between being a hood person that lives in the hood and being a part of the hood culture. You can live in the hood and not be a part of the hood culture. And then on the other hand, for those that say they are scared of hood people or ghetto people, I feel like there's definitely a level of discomfort we as human beings feel when we are in proximity to people that we cannot relate to, when we are in proximity to people that we are not used to. For instance, I am just a regular middle class person. If I were to be around, you know, very rich, affluent, bougie people, I would be uncomfortable because I don't know the rules of their society. I probably might not know how to blend in. I might be nervous and stuff like that. So I can understand how someone who did not grow up in the hood can be uncomfortable if they are in the hood or if they find themselves around hood people. And then some of these people in the stitches who said that they are scared of hood people as well also admitted to being scared of rednecks. So that kind of shows that it's not about being scared of just the black people in the hood, in quotes, as some of the people on the opposing side of the argument are saying. It's basically about being scared in the presence of people that they feel could change the atmosphere and maybe put them in some kind of danger. So it's that discomfort, which I feel like for every human being, it is justified. We have our survival instincts, and if you're in an environment where you feel like anything can pop off at any moment, I can understand why you will be uncomfortable or anxious around such people. And then again, why is it that when this lady said hood people, it was black people that people thought about? Because I believe even the crime or whatever it is that goes down in the hood, that the hood is notorious for, is not only perpetrated by black people. But what this man said actually made me think, and I feel like I understand why this whole conversation can even be dangerous, for the fact that we're even having it on TikTok where people that are not part of our community can see. Because tomorrow, somebody is going to quote this very trend and use it as an excuse for doing whatever they do to our people. But when you think about it, on the other hand, they've never really needed any trend on social media to justify why they treat our people the way they do, right? So if it's about saying that a black person is whitewashed because they don't feel comfortable around hood people, you know, basically the dangerous people of the hood, not just the regular folks now, I feel like I don't think they are whitewashed. I don't think I will generally agree to that. I don't think I will agree to them being, in quotes, whitewashed. But I want to know what you guys think in the comment section. And if I'm to chip in just a little personal experience, I've made friends with a couple of African Americans, and I remember somebody particularly telling me how he grew up in the hood, but he's glad that he's been able to do okay for himself, and he has moved to the suburbs and he feels safer there, and how a lot of people in the hood want to make it out of the hood as well. So, I mean, that should tell us something. People in the hood don't even feel safe in the hood. People in the hood want to make it out of the hood. People in the hood try to make it out of there and make a better life for their children so they don't have to go back to the hood. So are we going to call those people whitewashed as well? Are we going to call them anti-black as well for wanting something that they feel is better for them? Please let me know. I want to know what you guys think. Don't forget to drop your comments in the comment section. Let's have a conversation. Also, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.